Right, so this is where we stopped yesterday. And yesterday, a quick recap, we went more into the ERD, what it is, and why, what was the need for it. So very quickly, let's have someone unmute and tell us what their understanding is about the entity relationship diagram, because that's what ERD stands for. If you can tell us what your understanding is of entity relationship diagram, this diagram here, it would be really nice to kickstart with that.
Entity relationship diagram shows a graphical illustration of relationships between people, tables, or objects in an information technology system.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. That's a very, I'm so grateful. That's a very, very good attempt. Okay. Entity relationship diagram shows the relationship between our different entities. And entity is the same name for these tables. So if you don't want to call them tables, you can call them entities. So, and we can see what the connection is between each table. And that way we know how to move data from one table to another. Okay, so we won't dwell too much on that because I think we've actually talked a lot about it. Okay, so, but there was a question that Brotolu asked about this second requirement yesterday. And this second requirement is looking at average sales split by employee name. Okay, so let's actually put each title on top of each pivot table if we can. Let me move this down a little bit and just move it. And I'm just gonna paste that here. Okay, let's recopy it. Okay. Let's see if we can bold in it from here. We will do the same with that one as well. So we know what each one, stands for. So we know we found average sales for each employee. That's what we have here. But what's this grand total about? Has anyone had any chance to look at it, see what this 628 means at all? Or does anyone want to attempt answering it? Please, let's make it interactive. It'd be nice to have some interaction. Do we understand where this grand total comes from? What's the concept of finding averages, first and foremost? If we are told to find the average of something, how do we go about finding it? Just the simple steps of it. Let's have someone unmute and tell us, please, how to find average in maths.
Just to add you add the numbers together and divide it by you had the figures together and divide it by the numbers. If, for example, we have 1 to 10, you add 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to then to 10 like that, divided by 10.
Thank you very much, sir. That's what it is. Okay. Thank you very much for that response. So for us to understand this grand total, let's just remove this average sales for now. So I'm dragging it out and we will take it gradually so that we understand. Okay, so we've got this table let's put in the total sales first, because if we are told to find the average, we'll find what the total is first. So we've got the total, okay? And then what are we dividing by? This is about the total number of sales. Please mute yourself if you are on mute, please. Thank you. Okay. All right, so then we look for how many in total is our orders, okay? So this is where the order ID comes in, where we count the total. In this case, we are counting. So it's gone on to sum it, okay? But we should be counting. I don't know why it was able to sum that. We did say we changed the number formatting to text. I remember. I'll check that again. Okay, so we are counting this order ID. We are not summing it. Okay, and let's format it a little bit. Maybe we don't want this. We want the 1,000 separator. Okay, and okay that. Now this is telling us the total sales that was made by each employee, and this is counting how many orders were placed through them. So this is Andrew. Andrew made a total sales of 177,738. Okay, and that's happened with these 241 orders. Basically, that's what that is. Now, in finding the average, we are dividing this total by this 241. Okay, so I'm just going to drag another total sales and change it to average. So I'm going to drag now, physically drag, and drop that here. What did I drag? Yeah, and this second total sales is for average. So I'm going to change it to average. So instead of sum, the second one, we average it. And we can do some formatting on it as well so that it's easily readable. We can decide to, oh, that's fine. Let's leave the decimal places alone, okay? So this is the average, okay? I would have loved to drag this count. Let's see if I can do that. I want to drag the counts in between so that we have counts in the middle, sum count, and then the average. Did that work? Yes, it worked. Okay, so this is the sum. This is the number of sales they each made, and this is their average. Okay, so, and how they got each one is, for example, for Andrew, 177, whatever this is, divided by 241 gives 738. So automatically, how that 628 that we were, wondering about happened was the total sales divided by the number of orders total that were placed, and that was how this number got calculated. Do we understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I just thought to show that so that we don't keep wondering how we got the 628. Okay, and the beauty of this is the fact that it knows to go and get Andrew and to actually be able to compute how much Andrew sold and how many orders Andrew made through those sales, and then be able to get the average for Andrew and for each one of them. It's so interesting. That is the power of the relationship, that's been formed. The fact that this entity relationship diagram works, okay? And it is the beauty of the power pivot. The power pivot inside Excel as well. And we will look more into more processes of data analysis. I've done a presentation, a comprehensive presentation on it from Monday. I just want us to, God spare us all, I want us to keep following the flow that we are currently, we are currently on. Let's carry on doing our business requirement. Okay, and I'm going to need help going forward. So we've done this, we've found total sales by, so I'm going to color that up. I'm going to highlight that, and we've done this as well. Okay. So the next one, it says we need to find total freight split by ship city. Let's remember that our main table, main fact table that we've been using is the orders, order details. Okay. And now we are being told to find our business requirement needs the total freight and ship city, both of which we don't have on that table. Okay. We don't have any of those. We don't have freight here, and we don't have the ship city here. What should be our next step? What should we do?
We should bring it into the table through VLOOKUP.
Thank you very much. But how would we know how the journey is going to be? Where are we bringing it from? Where to where to where? How would we know?
We look which table is freight in anyway. We kind of locate the table that has the freight.
So which table is freight in? Let's look for it. We've got freight inside orders. Freight is right here. Okay.
So we use order ID to bring it in.
Okay. And that's because order ID is directly also here. So we can use that to bring the freight in. Okay, let's quickly do that. Okay, I'm going to need help with the VLOOKUP. Please talk me through what I'm doing. Equals. Before we do that, let's see what is our freight is in number K. Okay. And we don't have any hidden, just making sure we have a column index ready for when we need it. Okay, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. No, there's something hidden here, so which might bring the wrong thing in. Let's try. Let's see what would happen. Okay, so I'll start that again. Equals VLOOKUP. Okay, what should I do next?
Click on the lookup value, which is the order ID.
Thank you. So I do that, comma. What should I do next?
To the master sheet and click what's relationship
Orders table.
others table as well.
Thank you. So I'm here and I'm going to pick all of them. Okay, so I've done that. And I've put comma. What should I put next?
Your column index.
Okay, so, and our column index is number, did I say 9 just now?
Column 10.
Column 10. Thank you. Comma. And what should I put next?
What range lookup?
Yeah. 0 or 1, which one should we
exact match? Oh, yeah, so exact match, you use 0.
0. Thank you very much. So here we go. And it's brought all zeros. It's brought zeros. Why has it brought zeros? Let me put 11 and see.
I thought that was 9, to be honest.
Okay. So I think it's the, remember how I said there's a hidden, there's something I hid here. It was this one, okay? So, but there's actually a column here that's hidden. Let me unhide it. Okay. So there's something here that was disturbing us. And because the initial number I had was for this column, that's why that happened. It was bringing what it found here. It found a VLOOKUP formula here, and then found nothing for the rest and brought zeros for the rest. But yes, that was what you remember how we were finding it difficult to VLOOKUP 2 days ago, and I believe I hid this column here. Okay, but I mean, if we have the right column number, we'll be fine. Okay, so equals, so that's the freight. Now we need to bring in the ship city. Let's see, do we have ship city here at all? Maybe it might be easy if we, oh yeah, we've got ship city as well here. Okay, so we can easily just copy that formula and put, so this was 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. So I'm just going to copy this from here. So Control C that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, we'll resolve that. Then Control V. Okay, that's fine. No, I don't have messed the whole thing up now. Undo, and then undo again. Okay. So what I want to do is copy this. Control C that. It should be possible. Then there should be something I do here. Okay, press enter so that I don't mess the formula up here. Then I can come here to Control V8, but I'll change that to the column index that was. And I think I said 15, I'm not very sure. And we can, so if you've got a lot of VLOOKUPs to do this, you can always just do a quick copy and paste carefully, just to make it easy on you, rather than starting it from the scratch. That's why I did that. So everything that's order ID 10248 has been given the ship city RAMs, because it's always good to double check and just be sure that you've got the right things brought in as well. It's good to go in and just validate it. Okay, so ship city has been done. Hopefully we'll, right, so pivot table, we can come back here now, refresh our pivot table. So just to bring those two new columns in. So now we've got ship city. I need more tables. Do you want to create more pivot table? No, I don't. Ship city, okay. So we've got ship city now, and we've got the freight in as well. Okay, so that's fine. Again, what I'll do is copy this I'm going to copy this, Control C that. And I'll place that here, Control V that. And then I can change, whatever it is that they have here. Employee first name, we don't need anymore, but we need the ship city. So I'm going to drag the ship city in, and we don't need any of the values here anymore. And I'm just going to do freight. Okay, so, and we can change that to ship city. And total freights right there. And we can format this very quickly. No, is it that long? Let's format this. Believe it should be easy to format from here, so we can easily read it. Okay, and we've done 2 decimal places for the rest, so we leave that alone as well. And I'm just going to come here and copy and put a heading on there, so we know what that pivot table, is about. Where these are all just business questions. The business wants to know how they have done in different measures by the criteria that they have given us. And that is what these pivot tables are telling us. Okay, in numbers, we have not done any proper dashboarding. This is just pivot table that we are building. So far, we've not done the real report of it. It's like we're just now doing the groundwork of the report, but this we are going to need for the actual report that we'll present to them, and then we can do other data analysis processes that are involved, with this report after that. So, and then for the next one, I think we have everything we need for number 6. Number 6 is total freight and employee full name. So we had employee first name. Now they want employee full name. So we don't have everything we need, contrary to what I thought. If we go into our table, we've got employee first name, not the employee full name. But we've got employee last name and first name in the employees table. How do we get the full name? What should we do? We need help. Please unmute and help us out. How do we achieve a full name when you have one name, the 2 names separated on different columns? How do we bring them together?
I was wondering, should be able to merge the cells.
Okay, yes, we should be able to merge these 2. Or we should be able to bring in the last name and merge it over there. So whichever one we are comfortable with, we can do, to be honest. Okay, so I'm going to insert a column here for the margin. How do we match these and these together inside here as full name? Please help.
Yeah, you can use concat equals to concat the B and C and bring it there.
Okay, so equals concat. Okay. So, and you can click this. Then that says comma. What should I do next? Just click this. Okay, so we don't have any space in between. How do we amend this formula, please?
You can you can correct it from the formula there to put the space using the, what's that colon, that semicolon, just to give you the command to space it.
Okay.
Am I right? Or you
How
use
do-
the
How do I do that?
split? You where is comma? So
Mm,
you do that, what's that thing? That little dot on two
the double
of
quote.
my brain. Yeah, the double quote and space it and put double quote there. Yeah.
Okay.
Am
Okay.
I right? Let's see.
I believe you are.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Appreciate your help. Okay. So now we have the full name, and now we can bring the full name into our other details. Okay. But is it doable directly? Can we do it directly looking at our ERD? Would it be possible to move straight from employees into other details?
Yeah.
Okay, how do we do our move?
We need to go through orders, don't we? From so we're moving from employees, right?
Yes.
Into others, then from
And then
others into other details.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So we come into orders first, and let's do it close to where we have the other employee details. Insert. Okay. So equals VLOOKUP. And between employee and this table, what is the lookup value that I'm going to need? What is the common link that will bring those two in? Remember, we are bringing in something for employees. So what's the ID here that is for employees?
Would that be customer ID?
No, customer
Not.
ID will be for customers. We need employee.
Right.
And it is right here. We've got employee ID as well.
Okay.
That's the one we'll click on. Okay. Because if we look at going back to the ERD, it's the employee ID right here that's doing the link. Okay. So that's why it's the employee ID. Okay. Okay. Let me take that again just in case it's messed up. So, comma, table array. What table am I going into? Let's respond, please. What table are we?
Employee table.
Thank you. So I'm picking all of employee table, comma, and our column index, if I scroll left, our column index is number 4. So let's put 4 here. And a 0. Okay. And here we have our full name, but that's just the first journey. Now it's going to make its second journey into the actual destination, which is here. Okay. So I'm not going to mess anything up by inserting stuff here because that will shift. And sometimes that could affect, I'm not sure. So equals VLOOKUP equals VLOOKUP. We need the order ID now. Order ID, comma. And we are going into, we are bringing it from here. Comma. And our full name is column index 6, comma 0. Okay, so now we have the full name here. So we have everything we need for that question that we're being asked to do. So we've done number 3, we're moving. And number 4 now is our next target. And that's total freight by employee full name. Okay, so if we go into our table, again, we can copy whichever one, to be honest. Let's copy this one. So I'll Control-C that and put them side by side. Okay, and we can change things up here. So rather than by ship city, we need by the full name, employee full name. So, okay, I've not refreshed to bring in. So let's refresh to bring in the new column that we've just formed. And now we have it here. So full name. I'm gonna take this out and re-put it in. Okay, something changed. What happened? Something changed with the total freight. Let's go back to our table and see what the problem is with the total freight. And I'm thinking it could be the data type. Okay. All right, so something has changed from where we brought this in. We brought this freight in from, right. So we brought the freight in from table, it was on K, but because there has been an insertion here, that's the problem with VLOOKUP, okay? So I've got to change that column index. That's why it's good to really have a good plan ready before you actually embark on doing it, so that we are not going to and fro. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now it's now on 12. So I'm just going to change that to a 12. To get that back. And we should be fine now if we refresh. Okay, so now we are fine. But this is not ship city now. This is employee full name. Employee full name. Okay. And that's how much freight that was used, or the total of the freight that was for the orders that they were involved with. Okay, so that's how that works. I think, let me see, what should we do? Should we call it a day because it's 7:40 already? We've got a few more questions to go. At some point, we'll deal with these ones, but these other ones, I just brought them in to show different types of analysis that we are going to be dealing with next week. We will look at data analysis from start to finish as a course, so that when we come back to this, we'll get a good understanding of the type of analysis that you're actually doing. If it's just the key metrics you're looking at, or comparison analysis, or trend analysis, or whichever one of all of those analyses, and we'll talk more in details about them. We've got just 4 more pivot table works to do before we build our dashboard and have our full report, and then we can talk about what we are recommending to the business, what our findings, are with all these figures. Do we have any question at all today? Today has just been about doing a bit more of what we did yesterday, basically. And we'll keep doing more of this so that we all keep understanding it. Okay. But yeah, apart from that, please let's have your question if you've got any.